afternoon, Lagos, and welcome to Danfo Conversations. How are you doing? How was your Christmas? How is everything going? I know we're close to the end of the year. We've got, 3 days or so, 2-3 days left. And initially, I had thought about talking, my subject today was going to be your most standout news story of the year. But, everyone's doing that, and that's so, regular. And this is done for conversations. We don't do regular. But even more importantly is that on Christmas Eve, which has been covered extensively on the news on Nigeria Info, is, unlike most media houses, we do actually delve into the news and we are unafraid. So on Christmas Eve, as you should already know by now, a horrid massacre happened to the people of Plateau State, some 30 or so villages. Okay, horrible massacre. That's the only way we can describe it, a massacre. Some 150 to 300, numbers are still growing, numbers are yet to be finalized. People have been, I'm not going to say they've died. They haven't died. They were killed. When people are killed, we must say they were killed. They were killed. They were murdered by marauders, bandits, local terrorists, you name it. Because when you inflict terror on another, the act is terrorism. It doesn't mean that you're a terrorist organization. The act itself is terrorism. So about 30 villages who are busy minding their own business, getting ready for Christmas like the rest of us. Okay, like you and I, preparing whatever it is they would normally eat. They weren't allowed to do that. They were woken up from about 6 a.m. or so, overnight, caught unawares and slaughtered. Slaughtered as if human life doesn't matter. Slaughtered in their homes, in their little huts, in their villages and different places. Now here's the thing. Is it controversial? Oh yes. Did I make it controversial? No, I didn't. Why is it controversial? Why is talking about this controversial? I'll tell you why it's controversial. It's controversial because there's a deafening silence. Where is the outrage? Where is the noise? Where is the condemnation? Where is the never again? Is it that we as a people? No, it isn't. I'm not going to ask that question. I'm going to be frank. After all, it is the end of the year. If we can't speak truth at this time, then when can we speak truth? What it boils down to is that we as a nation, we as a people have gotten used to losing our loved ones, our citizens, our brethren in Nigeria. And the outrage, the more it happens, the outrage slowly decreases and decreases and decreases to the point where it literally becomes noiseless. And that's what I want to get from you today. I don't want you to call me with some propaganda or controversy or whatever. I want you to contribute to this conversation because my two guests today are experts in this. Okay? They will be contributing to this conversation. They're going to help us to unpack it even more. We have many questions. Let me introduce my guests because they're here. Sanusi is the country director of Amnesty International. Yeah, he's going to have a lot to say. And the other person, the other guest I have is Musa Ibrahim, who is the Commissioner of Information for the Plateau State Government. Welcome, gentlemen. Can you hear me?
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I hope you can hear me.
Yes, I can. I can hear you. I can hear you, Isa. Thank you.
Thank you for having me on the program.
Thank you. Musa, can you hear me?
I hope you can hear me also.
Yes, I can.
I can hear you clearly.
Okay. All right. Brilliant. Let's get straight into it. First and foremost, from you, Musa, because you are a representative of the governor, of the state governor, What happened on Christmas Eve / Christmas morning in Plateau State?
It was a gory story.
There's something wrong. Hold on. I'm getting a feedback from your side. Do you have any other device on? I'm getting feedback.
What about now? Is it better?
Yes, that's it. Let's go.
Okay. We woke up on Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and Boxing Day with sad and gory stories. Usually, Christmas season on the Plateau is celebrated.
We're still getting the feedback. I don't know. Is there any device that you have must be off apart from the one you're using, please?
Let me try and see if I can fix it right away.
Yeah, we're definitely getting feedback from your side. Lagos, whilst we're waiting for Musa to sort that out, the studio line is 0700 993 993 993. The female only line is 01 465 7190. Don't start calling yet. Come on, the conversation hasn't started. Stop calling. You can send a WhatsApp as the conversation continues with your comments, with your questions to 0809 597 5805. Our website is nigeriainfo.fm. Twitter is nigeriainfo.fm. YouTube is nigeriainfo993. Facebook is nigeriainfo993. And of course, we are on Instagram, which is nigeriainfo.fm Lagos. Musa, are you back with us?
Yes, I'm back. Is it better now?
Yes, much better.
Okay. As I was giving you the preamble, I was like,
It started again. Do you have a radio on or something? The minute you start talking, we start getting feedback. Okay, right.
There's no electricity that's on here.
Okay, right. Maybe that's the radio. It was the radio.
Okay now?
Yes, let's start it. Let's try again, rather.
Okay. I said we woke up on a very sad note on Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and Boxing Day. And usually these are days that Plateau people celebrate Christmas, not minding whether they are Christians or Muslims, because we are a United States. So people don't even know whether the celebration is for Christians, because you see that the whole state is agog with celebrations. But this year's own happens to be a black one, because marauders came into our communities, about 23, and massacred people in cold blood. And you begin to ask, where did they get this kind of orientation from? And should we continue to live like animals? Should we continue to live with this unusual suspicion? Should people be killed like chicken for Christmas? I doubt if there are communities that killed the number of animals that equates the number of persons that were killed. It's so sad and very, very appalling. For example, it's not just a Plateau thing. It has happened in Zamfara. It has happened in Sokoto. It has happened in Katsina. Recently, we heard about the Taraba. When these things are not nipped in the bud, they will have a free day. They will continue to regroup. They will continue to regather. They will continue to re-strategize and move from one state to another. So let's not think that it's just a Plateau thing and hold our arms and say, we are safe where we are. Like the ostrich, if you hide your head, your behind can be seen visibly. So it is a sad story for us as Plateau people, and I'm happy that the conversation has gotten the attention of Nigeria Info all the way from Lagos. This is one indivisible country, and it's good that we talk about these things so that you never can tell what will happen. Rain does not fall on one roof.
Indeed. When you say people died, how many numbers? You said you're pretty sure that there weren't as many animals killed around the country as the number of people that died. What number are we working with now? Because I know, of course, it's a developing story.
Yeah, from the feelers we got from the locals, because people had to run for their dear lives to bushes and villages. As we speak, it's around 195. And a lot of persons are injured, whether they are whether they're suffering from physical disability, the killers didn't bother. Whether they were old people, the killers didn't spare them. Whether they are minors, they are infants, they are children, they were killed by these bloodsuckers. and you ask, what has happened to our humanity? Where are we from? Who gave us this orientation? Who are our tutors? Who are our clergies? Who are our teachers? Who are our parents? Where did we get it this wrong?
Indeed.
How will people come with guns, sophisticated weapons, and with military precision take over about 23 villages the same hour, the same minute, the same second? And you know that we're in trouble if we continue this way.
Thank you, Musa. Issa, let me come to you. Amnesty International. When did you first hear about this massacre?
Well, on Saturday, because we have a network of people across Plateau State, in Bokos, fortunately, we have like 2-3 people who are part of our supporters and volunteers. And, on Saturday at night, I was about to retire to bed, and then they told me that there is tension and there are fears. And by early in the morning, that is on Sunday, we started receiving news of the attack. And by Monday, we started receiving very horrid and horrifying stories of killing of children, killing of women, and even children who were, strapped to the back of their mothers. The attack was wanton, was violent, and it has all elements of cruelty, and it has all elements of, violation of international humanitarian law, violation of all rules of conflict, where women are not spared, all people, the disabled, old women. And so that is when we started to receive these reports, and we kept receiving updates. And then we started receiving stories about how the attacks, escalated and expanded into Barikilla, local government, and even some parts of Mongu local governments were affected, which shows, the impunious nature of and the callous nature of these attackers, because when they started with Bokos, they expanded instead of, having a situation whereby security agencies intervene on time and, bring them to a halt. They expanded, and that actually shows you what Amnesty International has been saying, and we will continue to say it as an organization, that the well-being, the protection of the lives of the people of Plateau State is not a priority of the Nigerian government. Whatever they are doing, whatever security measures, whatever operation this or that they put in place is not working, because it is not protecting people. And that is why the gunmen, the criminals, find it very easy to go to Bokos local government and kill people, and then with audacity cross into Mongu local government, cross into Barikilladi, and only God knows where next, which local government next they will go to. And Amnesty International has been documenting all the violent attacks in Plateau State, especially, from May. We have been recording, there was a devastating attack around May in Mongu local government, which killed over 100 people. So the people of Plateau State have been going through this for so long, for many years, over 2 decades. And instead of, the subsequent governments and the current government coming up with a measure to bring this thing to an end, unfortunately, there seems to be an increase in failure. By saying this, I'm not saying that the government is not doing anything. Of course, they are doing something. But whatever they are doing...
Okay, if I may interrupt you, we've got to go on Okay, just finish that sentence, because we're going to go on a break in a few minutes.
So I'm not saying that the government is not doing anything. Whatever, the security is entirely an infrastructure that is controlled by the federal government.
We're going to be talking security and the federal government and the security forces and their response. Certainly, we're going to go into that. We'll be right back after this break. Lagos, stay tuned. This is going to be really interesting. Welcome back, Lagos. Welcome back, Lagos, Nigeria. You do know that we are streaming live on YouTube. We are also live on Facebook. Please go to both sites, Nigeria Info. You'll be able to follow this conversation and you can see my two guests. Right. Commissioner, I'm going to come to you, Musa. You've told us what happened. I'd like to ask you firstly, how quickly did the security forces respond when news broke that this massacre had begun?
You know, the most important thing to us as a people is that this massacre, this pogrom, this annihilation, this cleansing is stopped.
Well, we can't do the most, hold on, permit me to interrupt you. Not the most important thing to you. The most important factor to any citizen is when such things happen, the security forces respond immediately, as quickly as possible, within reason, within reasonable time. So how quickly did the security respond, the security forces, whether it's the police, whether it's the soldiers, how quickly did they respond once news broke that this massacre had begun?
Like I gave you in the introductory note, it was 23 villages at the same time. I wouldn't want to speak for the military. The most important thing to us is that we don't lose plenty of people. In this instance, we've lost 195. It tells you that there was no prompt response at the appropriate time. But shockingly, the number would have been way bigger than this if not for their intervention.
Yeah, but at what time did that intervention? Okay, then, at what time did that intervention happen? Because we've lost 195 Nigerians who were slaughtered. We can't bring them back, but we can prevent more from dying.
We do not have a machinery for timing the military.
Okay.
Like I told you, as for us as a citizen,
okay,
as citizens of Plateau State, the most important thing is that our people don't get killed. If it is one that we lose, it is a big loss to us. Now we're talking about the 195. So for us as a state, it is not the timing of the intervention. It is how to stop it. If, like yesterday, in another village, Budel, in the same Bokos local government, they burnt down houses in as much as we didn't have casualties. There was prompt response. That is the kind of response we want. For us, we don't want to say after 100 something persons have been killed. If you go to the hospitals, it is proliferated with a lot of persons that have different degrees of injuries. You see 3 months old with injuries, 8 months old with injuries, 4-year-old who have lost their parents. You see people who have broken their legs that just got back from the hospital after receiving treatment and they were discharged. These people didn't have mercy on them. They are cutthroat militia. They just came to kill. Whatever has life, they came to take. For us as a people, like I told you, the timing, the intervention is about intelligence even before it happens.
And that's where I want to go. Let me just go there. What intelligence or security information has been gathered by the state government, or did you have any in advance? You know, what did you have? You spoke about intelligence. Intelligence is also about proactive and reactive. So what proactive information did the state government collect, gather, even from previous attacks?
You know, when we speak, people want us to be always politically correct.
No, I don't. I want you to be politically factual. I don't want political correctness.
You know, I'm just setting a foundation for you. If you heard the country director of Amnesty International clearly, the control of the armed forces in Nigeria is in the hands of the federal government.
Yes, it is.
The best the state governments can do is to give them adequate information. It's information gathering and sharing. When you do that, you give logistics. When you do that, you give people the requisite education so they don't get killed like chicken, except if you want state governments now to begin to have a militia or a military of their own that they can command. If you notice, in Nigeria, when you had the issue of Oga at the top, even some information in the military, it has to escalate. It has to come from somewhere. The authority, the order has to come from somewhere. So as a state, when you are faced with by this pogrom, by this menace, by this massacre, by this gruesome acts, all you need to do is to have the right meetings with the right security agencies. And of course, the deployment is in the hands of those in charge. The commandant, the GOC, Operation Safe Haven, the commissioner of police, the with other security agencies, the director DSS in the state.
Thank you, Musa.
Sometimes they have to wait for command from above. That's why we're asking and pleading that we need to have state police. In our own instance, we've trained about 600 persons in these communities that have been facing this pogrom in the first instance, so that they will help in gathering information, in giving early warning signals.
Oh, okay. Let me just ask again. Did you say you've trained 600 members of the community, right?
Yes.
So to sort of act as unofficial security for the community.
Yes, we call them Operation Rainbow. They
Operation
just graduated
Rainbow.
like 3 weeks ago.
Oh,
yes.
How long ago?
Like 3 weeks ago, we just graduated them.
Okay,
and because of
3 weeks ago.
Yes, and it's because of this program that we said it's important that we bring it back.
Okay.
Before Ebube Agu, before Omotekun, there was Operation Rainbow on Plateau.
That's right.
It went to sleep in the last 8 years, so we're trying to wake the sleeping giant up so that it will help us.
Okay, so you reignited. Issa, I'll be coming to you in a few moments. Let me just clarify this for my listeners. So you reignited the security team, local security team, whom I believe, I presume, speak the local language, correct?
Yes.
Right, excellent. Now, this local security team, which were graduated and launched 3 weeks ago, were then present on Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and let's even start from Christmas Eve, because that's when it began. On Christmas Eve, what information? I imagine they're spread around, right? What information, what evidence, what were they able to gather for you as the state government? What did they gather, given that they'll be reporting to you?
They gathered the assailants were in their communities and they had to run for their lives. And some of them, I don't know whether we've even lost them.
Are they armed?
These people
Are they armed?
Precision, like I told you.
Musa.
No, they're not armed.
They're not armed. So
they're not armed in any way.
Okay, so
the state government does not have the authority to arm people. Do you understand?
Yes, I understand.
The state government does not have the authority to arm people. I told you.
I understand. Permit me.
Established for early warning signals, intelligence gathering and sharing. Simple.
Okay,
simplicita.
Okay, great. So, simplicita. Okay, great. They're not armed, and I understand you can't arm them because state governments are not allowed to arm them. So, what do they have? What do you give them for them to work with the exception of sticks? What's the process? Okay, say I'm one of them and something happens in the village and I'm aware or I know it's about to happen. What are the process? What are they to do?
We have an incident reporting center managed by the Plateau State ICT Development Agency.
So is that by phone? Do they report there by phone? Okay.
Yes.
All right. Okay, go ahead.
And when you make phone calls to that center, it is free. The cost is on the government. So whether you have credit or you do not have credit, whether you have unit in your phone or not, you can make that phone call.
Right.
So we simplified it. It's not about Android. It's not about iPhone. It's just a phone call away.
Okay. Thank you, Musa. Let me come to Issa. Issa, as Amnesty International, can you tell us do you have any idea? Because obviously you do a lot of information gathering. Do you have any idea how quickly or what time, how many hours it took for the security forces to respond on Christmas Eve when it began?
Well, I don't have a very precise information about the response time. But definitely based on what we had from the people on ground in Boko's local government and Barikiladi, there were long hours and unacceptable delay in response, even though people have made emergency calls to the security agencies, they could not respond on time. And that is very clear. And even the military itself, yesterday I read a statement from the defense headquarters saying that the reason why they could not respond on time was because of what they call the terrain, the difficult terrain.
What do they mean by that? What do they mean by the terrain?
I think they are in better position to explain. But I believe it's an unacceptable excuse. It's a quite unacceptable, excuse for any security agency that is armed, that is financed to protect the people, to say that the terrain. That is why we could not respond. But we have been documenting these things in Plateau State, in Benue State, in Zamfara State, and always, whenever this kind of incidents happen, the villagers always tell us this. And what they say is that whenever there is, alarm that, these marauders are coming, they make calls to the security agencies and they never get any response. And the pattern is very clear across all these states. The security agencies always arrive after the damage has been done. And when they come with little intervention. Therefore, they could not go further to pursue these criminals that have been killing people. And that is exactly what happened in Plateau State. And that is why, as an organization, Amnesty International is saying that, look, the responsibility of protecting the lives of Nigerians is squarely on the Nigerian government, which controls the security apparatus of this country. And when they fail to do it, they have to be held to account. Giving excuses is not enough. The people of Plateau are not armed, therefore they cannot be expected to protect themselves. And if the government could not protect them, there is no any excuse whatsoever to justify that. If they could not do it, it means they are incapable of doing it and they have failed. And that failure is unacceptable, and there is punishment for it in Nigerian laws, and they have to be applied. The reason why more Nigerians are being killed and we wake up, in the past, I knew that some years ago, when you hear that 3 people are killed, it's a news for the whole day.
Indeed.
In Nigeria.
Yes.
But gradually we are inching to a level whereby, 100, 300, and life moves on. It's not even making it to the front page of newspapers. And that is really an attack. It's a dent on our humanity and where we are going to. For the last 5 to 7 years, I knew, working with Amnesty International, whenever it's Christmas, I am telling you, I always, have this fear that something will happen. Whenever, in the last 4 to 5 years. And when this news came on the eve of Christmas, it reminded me of last year. Exactly the same thing happened in some parts of southern Kaduna. So why is the Nigerian authority unable to do it? And the reason why we always have on the Nigerian authorities is that we believe as an organization that the government has the power. No one can stop the government if it wants to do something.
Okay, let me come in. Okay, go ahead. Finish.
Let me give you an instance. On May 29, when President Tinubu wanted to remove fuel subsidy, Buhari was trying to do it. He couldn't do it. In the morning of 29th May, President Tinubu came to the Eagle Square, and he said that the issue of removing fuel subsidy is not even in his speech. But he went ahead, and the moment he announced it, on that same day, hundreds of people did not sleep at home. They slept on the fuel queues. And immediately he made that announcement, there was panic across Nigeria. Many people could not go back to their families because they have to stay in the fuel queues. And the fuel removal stand despite the pain, despite the difficulties, despite the huge cost on businesses, on schools, on healthcare, and everything. And we have to accept it. So when government appear powerless, I believe that government only appear powerless when it has to do with the lives of the people. If it has to do with their own interests, something they are keen on, they don't care. So why are we not applying that kind of power, that kind of decisiveness to end this thing? Plateau State has been in this bloodshed for so long. It's a beautiful place. The people are nice, peaceful people. They are mostly farmers, just caring about going about their lives. So why would they be subjected to this kind of things? And why is the government failing? And we have to ask the government, if you cannot do it, leave it for others to do it, because you went around the country making outrageous promises that we are going to restore security, we are going to do this, and you failed to do it. And the reason why we say they failed
I need to interrupt you. We're running out of time. I need to interrupt because there is a question that I want you to answer. You had sort of leaned into it, so I'd like to go back to it. Does Amnesty International, have you been able to see a pattern that leads, that triggers these attacks? Have you been able to actually outline something? Can you say, okay, we see this, then we know this, or we expect this because it's a response or a result of this? Have you been able to outline any sort of behavioral pattern? That's the word.
Yes. As an organization, we don't make statement about things without a thorough investigation.
Indeed.
And we are in the process of thoroughly coming up with an investigation of what happened. But based on the pattern, what we understand is that, Nigerian security agencies have squarely failed.
Thank you.
These attacks are a sign, clear sign that they have failed.
Okay.
Whatever security measures they are putting in place are not working. So let them go back and review them, rework them, and put in place new measures. There is no excuse for protecting lives. And another pattern is that whenever this thing happens, hardly arrests are made. Hardly you hear about arrests. And even when arrests are made, they are questionable. And the most important thing, which is bringing the perpetrators to justice so that others will be discouraged from doing the same, never take place. Why is it that the killers of these people are never brought to justice at all? Why? Because the government can, if I do something wrong today and the government want to get me, they will get me. No matter where I hide, no matter. So why are they not getting these people? Is it because they are killing ordinary farmers who don't have address in Abuja or Lagos? Is that the reason why? So this is the pattern. Number one, utter failure of the authorities to bring to justice those behind this thing is the reason why this impunity will continue. It will never stop until the Nigerian authorities put in the decisiveness, the will, and the commitment to bring them to justice. If, for example, the killers of Christmas Eve, killers of the people of Plateau State are, for example, paraded yesterday or today and brought to justice, taken to court, put through a fair trial, and convicted according to their crimes, according to Nigerian law, I assure you that even the victims will have some sigh of relief because they know that they have not lost their brothers and sisters and family members in vain.
Yes,
but
indeed.
The Nigerian government could not do any of this.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Issa. Musa, let me come to you. Again, I'm going to ask you this question because you are a representative of the current governor, Governor Mutawang, I think, or is it Muftawang? I don't know if I pronounced it.
Mutfang.
Pardon?
Mutfang.
Mutfang, I beg your pardon. Thank you. Governor Muftang. Now, who are the people that you think that your state government believes or suspects, let's use the word suspects, are the people behind these attacks?
If you watched other media stations, you'll see those that are carrying bullet wounds, machete wounds, tell you that they know even those that killed them, those that came to their community. They are not just strangers. They are doing it because of reasons best known to them. Sometimes they invite others from outside because there's this house adage that says you cannot win a town until you have an insider. So that is what is happening to us as a people. It is people that are taking lands by force. It is people that are going beyond all the treaties that you know in the world. It is people that are bloodsuckers. The bottom line for us is that these carnages are stopped. The bottom line for us is that we don't count our losses on daily basis. You know, these are farming communities, they're agrarian, they have clement weather, the Irish potato, the chips that you people make in Lagos is from these communities mostly. They have water bodies, their land is fertile and lushy, and it's like a grand design to take over the land, because there are communities already that have been taken over by marauders. And once you have a field day doing this kind of stuff, you continue.
Who has the grand design? Who you mentioned grand design. Who are the people or the groups or the team behind this grand design?
The bottom line is that they are criminals. The bottom line is that they are terrorists. We wouldn't want to be profiling people based on ethnicity, based on religion, and
But
other stuff.
but for them, hold on.
It's a very sensitive issue.
One of the victims that I saw in hospital today said they were from the community, right?
Yes.
And you've also said the same thing. So members of the community are the ones
that
with
we
the
have
grand
cohabited
plan.
together.
Yeah, are the ones with the grand plan to take over the land of their neighbors.
Yes.
Why?
They have the best answer. You know, I don't speak for them. They are satanic.
No, you're not speaking to them. Yeah, no. But let's remove spirituality from this. Satan, devil, everything, because we blame Satan and the devil so often. Nobody's ever asked Satan or devil, what have you got to do with this? Because I'm sure he or she would probably say, ain't nothing to do with me. Let's focus on me, you, and us. When you say members of the community, and the guy that I saw, the victim that I saw in hospital, said he knew some of them. He said the same thing.
You want me to name names? He knows them better than I do.
I've told you
that they are satanic elements.
Satanic. Look, I could tell you that I could call my neighbor satanic. It doesn't mean anything. So sorry.
You can do that.
No. But what I'm saying is that's not something that we have to, that people must work on. The people of Plateau deserve more, to know more, and the listeners and the ordinary Nigerians deserve to know more than satanic, because nobody knows Satan or what Satan looks like, right? What I'm saying is, you said they have a grand plan. So you are saying that the people, some elements within that community, have a grand plan to take over their neighbors' lands. Who might they be? You know, the governor, the current governor, has been there since May. He's from there. He's from Plateau. This cannot be new to him, just like it's not new to President Tinubu, just like it cannot be new to the security forces or the police, or even the 600 sort of unofficial security team that you inaugurated in May. Who are these groups?
I think you should be asking the security agencies, because if they have paraded them, everybody will see them clearly. I was not on the field, but from what the assailants, those that were taking, those whose lives were taken, those whose lands were taken, those whose properties were burnt, told you clearly that they knew those that are killing them. So I cannot come on your radio and begin to name names. That would be profiling.
I wouldn't want you to name names.
Terrorists, they are bandits. That is their name. They don't have a name that is better than this.
Okay. I'll be right back. We've got to go on a quick break. Musa, Isa, please stay with me. Lagos, I'll be picking up your calls 0700 993 993 993 immediately after this quick break. Welcome back, Lagos. I'm coming to your calls. I have lots of messages on WhatsApp. When I come to your calls, please, I know this is a very emotive subject and you've all been waiting to ask questions. Get straight your name, where you're calling from, and your question immediately. Please, no long thing, as they say in Nigeria. No long thing. Hello?
Hello,
Good afternoon. What's your name and where are you calling from, please?
This is the merchant man.
Okay, merchant man, go ahead with your question.
My question is, why is it the way it is that we must adhere to the concept of political correctness? Even if we are dying till the last person, it doesn't matter. The reason I ask this question is, Musa Ibrahim was saying something. He said the state governor was incapacitated based on the fact that he was not allowed to empower the citizens to defend themselves. You know, the last person that passed out in Ondo State, Ireti, he was brain behind Amoteku, though the political issues, which is part of Nigeria factor, played a very prominent role. So my question is, must we adhere to political correctness till all of us die? Or do we stand on our feet and defy all odds and make sure we repel the evil ones that want to finish all of us?
I get your point. Question. Thank you, merchant man. Hello?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Rita calling you from Latte.
Go ahead, Rita.
My question is this. Since we know, I'm from the north, we know those who are disturbing us in the community. Why not make, in fact, divide the places? We know our land. Why is it that greedy? They want to come.
Oh, sorry, your Rita, your line cut off. Hello.
No, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's your name and where you calling from,
Just
please?
calling.
Pardon?
If these people know who are killing them, that means this matter can be resolved now.
What's your question?
My question is that they can come together and resolve this matter since they know each other.
Okay.
The federal government can come in.
Okay.
That is it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm going to pick up one more and then I'm going to go to... Hello. Right. Okay. Right. Issa, Issa, I have a question for you, but I'll keep that till a little bit later. Musa, I'll come to you. One of my listeners said, you mentioned about how the 600 local security personnel, let's call them, that you launched three weeks ago, okay, that they can't carry arms. And you said because the state governor is not able, doesn't have the right to issue arms to these people. However, what happened during Amotekun? Amotekun was able to carry arms. So Merchantman wants to know, why is the state government playing political correctness till people have lost their lives? That's number one. The other question is to you and to Issa, is since there is knowledge of those who are doing this within the community, why have those people not been rounded up? Why have the names not been given to the security teams or forces, if you like?
I think the person that asked that question does not understand the workings of the Nigerian state.
Tell us.
Does not understand the working of Nigerian state. When people come with...
I can't hear you anymore.
Don't confront them with dengons.
Sorry, say that again. We lost your voice for a second.
When people come with sophisticated weapons,
yeah,
when they come with military precision, you don't confront them with dengons. Has he seen the Amotekun with AK-47? Has he seen them with armored?
So what you're saying is, okay, so what you're saying is that the security teams that you have, they only have shakabula. Is that what you're saying? I think that's what
the laws of Nigeria does not allow them to carry
semi-automatic. Yeah, but they do. They do have shakabula. They have shakabula.
The hunters, even hunters on the Plateau have shakabula. Shoot and run. That one that you do pam, and it is just like a knockout. We're talking about confronting daredevil ragtag armies, and he's talking about shakabula. Please, it's not an issue that we want to play with. It's a very serious issue.
Okay, let's go to the other question, because we're running out of time now. This is what happens on this show.
Which one is the other question?
The other question is, since the state and the communities are aware of some of the people who committed this act, and it seems that they're always aware, why is that information, or has that information been given to the security forces?
Certainly, if you see them on TV, it means it has gone viral. And as a government, we will follow up and follow through to make sure that these people get prosecuted.
Okay,
if you don't prosecute them.
Okay, do you then, as a government, do you go into the community to ask and seek out this information? Because what I'm trying to get is, what kind of proactiveness is Governor Muftwang doing and his administration, aside of just pointing fingers at the federal government? Yes.
Ireti, we will not come on Nigeria Info and divulge all our information to you. That will be suicidal. That will be uncalled for.
I'm nice. You can tell me. I won't tell anybody.
That will tamper with the investigations and security and information gathering. So it's not everything that when we have a platform like this that we say. We tell people so that they know that we've been proactive. We're not laid back. We cannot afford to do that because these people overwhelmingly supported and voted for us. So we cannot abandon them.
Okay.
The raw material for us to get into this power is the people. Okay. So they cannot be killed like hold our house. That is practically impossible.
I have a message here that I want read out. The one that says the state governor it's been 8 days. How many days? I need you to read it. You've just scrolled past it. You said it said somebody sent a message saying it's been how many days, and the state governor Okay. When she finds it, I've seen the message. I saw. There you go. Can you read it out, please?
All right. Good afternoon, Cecile. Eighth day of Plateau massacre. The government hasn't shown us carcass of the perpetrators. I hereby want to condole with the families of the victims of unprovoked attack in Plateau. Meanwhile, the recent gruesome killings in Plateau State should call for a war against terrorists. The presidency statement regarding the horrendous incident doesn't hold water. Let him give a draconian order, instruct the military to comb every nook and cranny of the state, crushing and displaying the perpetrators' carcasses as a proof of hard work of Nigerian army and federal government, which would serve as a deterrent to others that want to tread same path. By so doing, Nigerians will be convinced and there is no insider among the political cabals. Chisco.
Excellent. That's from Chisco. Issa, that's coming to you. Issa, I can't see your face. You're off camera. I need to see your face, my brother. Tell me, it aligns with what you've expressed in this interview and in other interviews. Issa, are you there? Can you hear me? Issa, I can't see you nor hear you. Issa, can you hear me? Oh, have we lost Issa? No, I can hear Musa.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah, so I have to make a point and leave quickly because I want to go to the mosque. For
Okay.
Friday prayer.
Well, okay, great. Okay, let me let you close. You heard that. I don't know whether you heard what my colleague read out. The other thing is, it aligns pretty much with everything that you've said on this show and on other shows. So therefore, especially as you have to go, my question to you is, what can be done to secure more information and disseminate it faster? What next?
I think the next thing, all the government, both the state and the federal, should work together to investigate this incident. If we don't understand what exactly happened, what is the motive of these people? Why would people just be interested in massacring people on a day that they should be happy, on a day they have been looking forward to for the whole year? It is only an investigation will establish that. What are the security lapses that enable them to operate for 48 hours without intervention? Why are they killing these people? Where did they come from? Who is giving them arms? Where are they getting arms from? And it is only an investigation. Unfortunately, Nigerian government at all levels repeatedly, consistently show an utter failure, an apathy to investigation.
Indeed, the UN has called for a thorough investigation. They made a statement, I think this morning or yesterday. So do you believe, do you trust?
I don't believe, because even if when they say that we are going to investigate, they just do a wash work. They gloss over the surface, and that is all. An investigation has a standard. It has to be thorough, it has to be effective, it has to be impartial, and it has to consist of people who are capable of doing it with expertise. And it has to have all the resources in terms of technical resources, financial resources. The government has all these things. So why are they not committing it? For example, recently, the president ordered someone to audit and investigate CBN, and he's coming out with startling, disturbing information. So why can't we do the same? Why can't we get investigators to do the same on human lives? Is it only that money that matters to us? Thank you very much.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Issa. Nigeria Info will be back in touch with you because this is not over. Thank you so much for giving up your time. Happy praying. Right. Musa, it's just you and I now till the end. Are you there?
I was born ready.
Thank you. I'm going to go to the calls. I'm sure there are more questions for you. Hello? Yes. Please turn down your volume, the volume of whatever you're listening to.
Good afternoon. This Fulani headers that are worrying Plateau people, they can cook them now.
And nobody has said on this show that it's Fulani herders.
Auntie is Fulani headers.
Uncle, you cannot say that. You do not have to. No, hold on. What question do you have? We don't have the time. What question do you have?
The governor is lazy, number one. He can stop them. Buy arms for your people, like on those stages. Crash those guys out of your.
You're making a statement, not a question. Come on.
My question is, why is the governor so lazy? He cannot buy arms for his people. Even me, I can use cutlass and defend my people against those
But
people.
Musa has already answered that. The governor is not permitted by the FG to issue arms. I've got to go. We have the lines going. Thank you. Hello? Oh, you need to turn off your... Oh, good God. Hello?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's your name and where are you calling from, please?
This is Mr. Frank.
Mr. Frank, go ahead with your question, please.
The governor is the chief security of the state.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it that the state securities will not have the right to handle a gun, but the same terrorists, them as they call, have the right to handle a gun in the same state? And he will not ask questions. Who is those people buying this gun for you? Who are you people? And they know that they are dragging land. Who is dragging this land?
Thank you. Hello?
Hello, it's okay.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, ma.
Your name, please, and your question.
This is Happiness from Ikorodu.
Happiness, go ahead.
Yes, these people, they've written a letter that they are coming back. How prepared are the government over there? And the security, the other local governments, I know they are in panic right now. So I don't know. How sure is their safety? That's my question.
Okay, how sure is the what? Sorry?
The other local governments around, you understand, that are here to attack. How is the safety? How is their safety, the guarantee?
Thank you. Thank you very much. Musa, let me come to you. It's been reported that some other local governments have received letters of warnings instructing them that they're going to be coming back or that they're going to be coming to their villages, to their local government. What actions, what moves, what proactive moves is the state government making against that, with the response to that?
All these letters or signals that we got, we've escalated them to the right authorities. If we don't take these things for granted, because sometimes you may be taking unawares, and before you know it, you are counting losses. So as a proactive government, as a responsible and responsive government, we have escalated it to the right authorities. We have also shared the same intelligence with them.
Okay.
When people look at these things, we're also affected. When they kill farmers today, they will kill those that the farmers produce food for tomorrow if it is left without being checked.
Well, that's
so
exactly but that's exactly why, Mike. Look, the lines are going. We have so many questions and responses on WhatsApp. If we go into Facebook, everywhere is alive. So clearly, nobody in Nigeria is taking this lightly. That's the one thing. Everybody feels affected by this, even though it's happening in Plateau State, which is why we keep saying, which is why when Mr. Frank makes a very good point, the governor is the chief security officer. The job of the chief security officer is to work in tandem with the federal government to ensure the security, the lives and property of the citizens of the state, by extension Nigeria. What is Governor Muftwang doing? What is he doing? I have seen him interviewed, but I'd like to know, can you tell us what critical actions on the ground is he doing?
Who is that?
Your governor. As the chief security officer.
Like I told you, we have trained Operation Rainbow personnel.
But Operation Rainbow is one. Okay. We've gone to
the National War College to get one of the instructors there. General Shipi is our SA security on the Plateau. If you ask those in the military circle, they know his history, his antecedents in the military tactics. And again, there is a synergy between us and the security apparatchik on the Plateau. All we want to hear and all we want to see is that this program is put to a halt so that our people can go about their usual daily activities without fear of being molested, being killed, or even intimidation. So basically, we have always been synergizing. We're not going to rest on our oars. We'll continue until our state is secured. So basically, that is what we're doing as a government, and we will not rest until peace is achieved. So the governor, His Excellency Mr. Caleb Manas Ruftuang, is synergizing with security agencies to make sure that Plateau people are secured.
Okay.
That's what we're doing.
Okay, I'm going to take another message on WhatsApp or a question on WhatsApp because we don't have much time.
Right. Compliments of the season, Sisi Oge. Great discussion, ma'am. Please, are these Asalans identified with cattle rearing? If yes, then every Nigerian still eating beef should know it costs much more than we are paying for. It's time to take other proteins. Thank you, Timidayo.
Good question. Did you hear that? And I'll come back to you. Were the assailants said to be associated with cattle rearing by any of the eyewitnesses that survived? Bear with me, we'll come to you. There's another question that I saw that mentioned about satanic that I would like you to go down to read to us. I couldn't see it from here properly. It is there. Please go to it and read it to us. So I'm gonna come to the calls right now. Please make it short. We don't have time. Hello?
Yeah. Okay, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, Francis calling from VI.
Okay, Francis, your question, please.
Yes, in all the killing that's happening in Plateau, where is our telecommunication role in all this?
Okay, good one.
Does it mean that the bandits they don't communicate?
Good one. Thank you. Thank you. That's a good one. That was such an excellent question. Where is the role of our telecommunications? Because obviously the bandits must talk to each other, right? Which is where intelligence comes in.
Ireti, you are asking the questions that we are also asking as Plateau people. If these things want to be handled once and for all, I feel that government has the power, just like Isa said before, going to the mosque. You see, there must be some. If you have 23 villages, what was the modus operandi? What was the mode of communication? Would you just give signals and one time people will go? Like I told you, these killings were done with military precision for you to go into 23 villages. Shouldn't there be some level of tapping of communication?
So let's come back to it then. You keep saying military precision rather. What have the military said to you? I know you can't give us sort of sensitive information, but what has the military told the villagers? Because of course they've been to visit. The VP came to visit. What did he say? Although I know he promised investigation. What more did he say? We've got like literally 2 minutes left.
The presence of the VP alone brings some level of succor and hope.
Why?
For our people to
Why? What does the presence of another human
I think you
being?
should allow me speak when you ask me questions too.
Okay, please do, but I don't understand why.
This thing didn't start today. In the past, the president of Nigeria, Muhammadu Buhari, was on the plateau.
Yes, and he still didn't stop.
And no, he was on the plateau, and they didn't even raise the issue of people being killed. But now we have a vice president that came with the national security advisor, with the chief of defense staff. If something will be done, I think this is the time it should be done.
Okay.
Because they came with chiefs of intelligence, chief of military, plenty chiefs came.
Okay.
For our people, what we want is results. Yes, we appreciate the visit, but as a government and as a people, it is a sign that something tangible will be done. Unlike in the past that people get killed and you only see letters.
And what do you expect to be done? I'm rushing you because we're literally running out of time.
What we expect to be done is that, one, our killers should be arrested, paraded, and prosecuted.
Okay.
Once that is done, even the victims will have some succor, will have some level of hope. For example, I know that somebody came and killed me, and tomorrow, since I'm alive, I'll see him walking the streets freely.
Okay.
It will give me some mental scar. And some people might even attack such persons.
Okay.
But when they cool off in prisons or they get commensurate punishment to the crime they've perpetrated, it will bring some level of peace and it will be a deterrent to some criminals.
Absolutely, you're correct. Now, you are from Plateau State, right? I don't know how old you are, but you're certainly, in the 30s upwards, right? Let's put it
there. Don't start from 30. Start from 35 or 40 maybe.
Well, okay, 40 upwards, right? I'm trying to be nice and conservative and not be rude. In all your years in politics, how long have you been in politics, if I may ask?
For plenty years.
Plenty years, right. In all the plenty years you've been in politics, are you aware of any of these killers, murderers, and to use your word, children of Satan, who has ever been prosecuted and sentenced in a Nigerian court? Are you aware?
Sincerely speaking, I'm not aware. I'm looking forward to that, especially those that have been cleaned up on the plateau.
Excellent. And this is why I will be coming back to you again, Musa. You need to come back on this show because this must be the last time. You know, when they say never again, when we Nigerians say never again, it's time the people rose up and actually ensure and insist government makes sure it's never again, irrespective of whose ox will be God. What can I say? Musa, my dear brother, thank you so much for giving up the time. Thank you.
I don't take this platform for granted. I appreciate. May God bless you for sharing our gory story.
Well, it's not gory. Look, it affects one, it affects all. We're all Nigerians. Thank you so much. And I'll be in touch.
Thank you very much. I'm open.
All the best. Have a good new year. Lagos,
thank you very much. You too.
Thank you. That's the end of another Danfo Conversations. The last one. Zainab.
Yeah.
The last one.
Oh,
for this year.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure.
What do you mean? Yeah. What are you talking?
I was far away.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's the last one, and it's been a great year.
Yes, it's been a good year. Our Danfo are not running our subsidy or no subsidy. We don't care. Our Danfo will be back next year because and I promise you, okay, we will continue to follow up on these plateau killings because for about 3-4 years, we heard nothing like that from Jos, Plateau State. They had a governor called Simon Lalong, I think that's his name. We had nothing. So what was different? What did he do differently? All right? So we will continue to follow up on this. Now, borderlines. Are you ready? I've got the most distinguished, perhaps one of my most distinguished guests ever, Kenneth Roth. If you don't know who he is, Google him now. Go check ICC, Human Rights Watch, Princeton. Even Harvard got very scared of him. Okay, Borderlines is on at 4 p.m. We're going to be talking Israel, Palestine, and guess what? He even posted a tweet about what happened in Plateau. Stay tuned, 4 o'clock. Until then, the handsome Ducky is back. Is he around?
Right, he's around.
He's the handsome Ducky. Handsome Ducky for the last year. Look, I wish you all a wonderful new year, but I will be back at 4 o'clock. Until then, ciao, ciao.